Thank you, George. Now, this year's state ballot included several initiatives ranging from education to psychedelics. Joining us live in our studio is our very own correspondent, Natalie Lett, to share the results of these ballot questions. So, thanks for being here with us, Natalie.
Thanks for having me. Starting with question number 1, nearly 72% of Massachusetts voters approved a measure allowing the state legislature to be audited. The state auditor will oversee the inner workings of the state legislature. They make sure state agencies are following existing laws and rules, and they have the court's support to access all documents and records. But there are some limits to the investigative power. Second, voters decided to end the MCAS as a graduation requirement. Nearly 60% of voters approved the measure. Massachusetts was one of the only handful of states requiring standardized tests for high schoolers to graduate. The third question also passed, allowing rideshare drivers to form unions. Uber and Lyft drivers will now be able to negotiate together for better wages and benefits. However, sector-based bargaining is likely to face legal challenges.
So how would a yes on this question impact people who use these rideshare apps?
It would probably make rides more expensive.
Got it. Okay. So what's the next question?
The fourth question was the first no. It was, should psychedelic drugs be legalized? This would have legalized a group of natural drugs, some found in mushrooms, to be grown at home or offered by licensed professionals. Anyone over 21 in the state would have been allowed possession, and there would have been a regulation committee created.
So what were the pros and cons here?
Advocates argued it can be used for mental health treatments, and opposers said it opens the door for drug abuse and that it could be dangerous to grow these substances at home.
Now, there's just one more question here, and based on the amount of posters I've seen around Boston and restaurant windows, I may be able to guess what this one involves.
You're right. The last one was a hot topic and ultimately got a no from voters, and it had to do with tipped workers and their wages. In Massachusetts, the minimum wage is $15 an hour, but this does not apply to workers who are expected to make tips like waitstaff. Their minimum wage is $6.75 an hour. A yes to question number 5 would have phased out the exception and require employers to pay the regular minimum wage by 2029. If this had gone into effect, restaurants would have been allowed to pool tips with other employees who do not interact with customers. It could have also led to restaurant prices increasing because they would need to have a bigger payroll budget. Now, since it did not pass, nothing will change and the wage will still be $6.75 an hour.
Do waitstaff currently get guaranteed tips to make up for this difference?
Yes. So employers do have the responsibility to make sure their employees make $15 an hour if their tips don't.
Got it. Well, thank you so much, Natalie, and back to you, Giselle.